Oh, hello, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Did you have a good Christmas?
It was quiet. It's just
Likewise.
I was working quite a bit of it and things. So I had more time off over New Year, though, than I did over Christmas, which is typical.
Yeah. Now, it's quite quiet here. I had a couple of friends around, but that was pretty much it, really. Some good modelling time. That's all I can say. So, hello, everybody. Everybody else out there. I hope you all had a good Christmas or whatever passes for your seasonal end of year break. We're back with another Sunday service. Goodness me, this will be our 6th year of doing the Interesting Modelling Company.
Wow.
I know. It's amazing what happens when you're bored during lockdown.
I remember the remote nationals event as a first time I really caught it, so.
I'm just gonna do a quick shout out. Everybody's tuned in at the moment. So Stephen Kessel, Peter Oxley, Richard Graham, scrolls down. Our first scrolls down of 2026. Rory's modelling page, Dave Swindle, Andy King, Nick Brown, Damian Mullen, Travis Thompson, Paul Voyle, Peter Chappell. Peter Chappell says hello from Almondsbury. Goodness me, he's virtually a neighbour. Dougal McWoogle, Kev Tinker, Andy Cartmel, Philip Jones, Andy Brennan, Richie, Colin Strachan, Keith, the mysterious Keith, Greg Woodbridge, Nevrin, okay, Theron Hampton, Shane Weir, good day, Shane, Mike Williams, Anne-Marie Ryle Gould, Steve Moores, Brian Wilton, Dave Fleming, Agent Dave Fleming, good to see you here, Dave, Lee Suter, Farato, Captain Magenta, Russell Taylor, My Planes Don't Fly, mine do actually, usually if I get fed up with them and they they fly towards the rubbish bin. Tim Maunder, hello Tim, I hope you had a good Christmas. Michael Scott, Garoyd, I know who that is. Roy Sutherland, Mike and Penn Richardson. Mike and Penn, thank you so much for the drinks at Christmas. We still haven't got around to finishing them all off yet. Steve Moores, there we go. Right, Ian, well, how should we start today? Because we do have a schedule for tonight. So what would you like to do? Would you like to do project updates first of all?
Yeah, why not? I've got a little project that's been kicking around a little while. I did a little video on my page on it. I'm building the Tamiya Abarth 695 SS, and I'm at this kind of stage. So we have a roll with the steery bits. Look, there's a lot of Ukrainian scale car productions 3D printed accoutrement gone into this one. There's a good word for a Sunday night.
Yeah, that's a brilliant word.
Look at that. We have, see the 3D printed door, furniture, handles, winders, and also there's a key in that ignition.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah. Gotta love those little bits that add to it. Of toggle switches in various positions. It's got a new ashtray which has got 3 colors on it. I have no idea what I thought I was doing when I set to paint that. And then we have the tuned exhaust engine in the back, air cooled, actually twin cylinder air cooled. But there's again one of the USCP stuff. There's a twin Weber carb set up there with separate intakes. So yeah, that's something to go. The wheels are USCP as well. Some nice Cordoba, I believe they are. They're beautifully done.
What are they? 3D printed hubs and rubber tires, or all 3D printed?
Kit tires, which I've stretched out over the rim. Rims are slightly bigger than the kit wheels, but I think they're resin cast from 3D print. These, but they may just be 3D print. I still can't tell them apart. That concept apart. But that's that, and then the body is. The decals have had a couple of applications of decal solvent. They've been a bit recalcitrant.
I'm just going to say recalcitrant. Yes.
Yeah, we're going down fully, but I've managed to get them into the panel line shots now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many decals on it. There's a whole 3. Got to have a scorpion on the bonnet, haven't you? And then the kit supplies a Webasto roof, which they've molded just as a plain flat surface. Now, could I be bothered? I'd be putting some wire strips across this and resanding it to give it the shape, but no, it's a nice. For a kit that's as old as it is. I mean, it's 1996. I think it says somewhere on it. It's not a new kit. It's a lovely subject matter, though. They do the 500F as well, which uses the same shell but without the add-on wheel arch extensions. And that's equally lovely.
What's your paint? What's your paint you used on that?
So this is Mr. Colour, thinned with leveling over Mr. Surfacer. I think the final coat of Mr. Surfacer was 1500 grey. There's 2 or 3 coats of reasonably well thinned Mr. Colour, Air Superiority Blue.
So just to be kind of like completely thick on this, Ian, with your primer coats, did you trizact your primer coats?
Every layer gets trizact.
Right, that answers my question then. And what's your clear coat on that? Have you
is that one yet?
So that's just purely the paint, is it?
The paint. So
good Lord.
It's painted with this. Thinned with leveling thinners.
Yeah.
First 2 coats are about a 50-50 thin. And then the last coat is 25% paint, 75% thinner. Yeah. The engine deck's got the little self-adhesive chrome badges on, and so that's ready for a clear coat as well.
I'm envious of your gloss finish there. That is just superb. This is why I really do need to build more cars this year, because I need to get my head around that.
It's habit. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but no, the process is habit. It's how you habitually do it. The thing that is scaring me at the minute is, in true Abarth fashion, this will have its rear engine deck wedged up, and USCP provide or produce a set of the wedging units for it.
Yeah.
See if I can get this to focus. There you go.
I remember us talking about this last time.
So these are now. I've got to get this right now. So which way around it goes, I can never get it quite organized. Anyway, so they're designed to go something like that.
No, on camera, Ian.
Oh, on camera, yes. Yeah, so something camera, like that.
I'm with you, yeah.
Yeah, and then the hood sits horizontally. I painted them black because 3 or 4 photographs that I'd seen, they were black. I found a lovely reference shot the other day, and they're red on that one. And I would have preferred them to be red, but I'm not going to try and mount them back up for painting again, because they were a pigging nightmare to paint the first time. Thank you.
You're getting some love here, Ian, because everybody loves your finish. My Planes Don't Fly says you can see your own face in the reflection. Well, I personally wouldn't want that in my workshop, but lovely gloss finish. Mike Williams asks, is it typically Tamiya fit-wise?
No.
So is that because of the age of the kit?
Yeah, those wheel arch. So the standard 500F body has the smaller Fiat 500 type wheel arches, and you get glue-on over arches to go over them. They do not fit particularly well. In fact, I think I've got one of them slightly misaligned on the front, in that it's a little further forward than it should be. So now I'm getting a little bit of fouling on the arch. Let me go back to my camera, zoomy. See the...
Yeah.
These are the extension pieces. Now, getting rid of this join line that runs around here isn't as easy as it looks. In fact, let's see if this shows up. There's a little bit of a gap there that I thought I'd got rid of, but it's shown up under the gloss. Very, very minor, but very, very annoying. But I mean, there's I think I did 4 rounds of fill and sand on those to get them which is very Tamiya-esque, but 19. The box says, the box says 1996.
30
and
years
reissued
ago,
in 2024. So I mean, the thing's for 30
years
year
ago.
old.
Yeah.
You know, but it hasn't been reissued for quite some time. And then it came out in 2024 on their limited reissues lineup. And I can't, trust me, if it wasn't a Tamiya kit, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No.
But our expectations of Tamiya, fit-wise, are what they are. So if that was a B-Max kit and I had those fit issues, I would be unsurprised.
I would hazard a guess that being 1996, stick my neck out here, but I get the feeling that's still going to be pre-CAD.
Yeah.
It's going to be pre just how universal CAD has become. It's only in the last 20 years that it has really kind of last 25 years-ish that it's become the norm. Yeah. I'm prepared to stick my neck out and say possibly we're wrong on that. But yes, Brian Wilton has a question for you. He says, Ian, what is that dryer that you put parts into to dry? I think he's talking about the Von Chef, isn't he?
He is. He's talking about the dehydrator.
Yeah.
It's a dehydrator. It's a kitchen implement for effectively drying fruit and food and things like that. But it's incredibly useful for what we do. The Mr. Color, those lacquer Mr. Colors, thin it with their appropriate thinner, give it a couple of minutes to get the worst of the wet off of it, put it into your dehydrator, crank it up to 50, 60 degrees and leave it for a couple of hours and it's ready to paint another coat on. And definitely handleable in an hour. So it just makes life a little bit easier. I still like, for clear coats though, I do still like to just stick stuff to one side, maybe in the bottom level of the dehydrator for a good 2 or 3 days to properly cure out.
There you go, Brian. This is on Amazon, and this is the one I've got. This is the Von Chef Food Dehydrator. It's 5 tiers, but for us modelers, on Ian's recommendation, is I took a razor saw to the levels and open them out a bit more, so there's a bit more depth. But yeah, that's the one I've got, and I would say, obviously, if you're doing something like a 32nd scale B17, you're not going to get one of them in there. But for most modelling tasks, certainly for a lot of 72nd scale aircraft or tanks and things like that, brilliant. In fact, I am going to go to the Facebook page and I'm going to post that link on there to what it is. So I would say an absolutely brilliant investment if you've got the money. And I am grateful to Ian for propelling me to actually buy one. So it's certainly become a very useful Very useful bit of kit. So, right, folks, that is now on our timeline.
Just above Brian's question,
Yes.
Steve Moores is asking a question as well about flocking.
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone use flocking, check spelling, well done, Steve, to simulate carpet in model cars? And if I recall correctly, my 2005 GTI needs red carpet.
Yes, not as often as I ought to, because I'm a lazy so-and-so. But you need one of these. This is a tea strainer for loose leaf tea, putting in your cup.
Yeah.
If you put your flocking in that, put your subject into a larger box lid, and then you can shimmy it out over your subject better. See what I mean? It's much more controlled. A lot of guys are using these, and you can buy a pack of 3 of these from Amazon, our aforementioned trade partner, for about £7.
Question: for doing carpet, would sandpaper, would wet and dry paper work?
You can do. It's a little grainier. With the flocking gives you more of a softer texture.
Yeah.
You know, so I use sandpaper sometimes if I'm wanting to replicate asphalt on a base or something, because you can muck it up and the white paint looks right and things like that for stripes and stuff. But yeah, I've seen a few done like that. I've got some reels of self-adhesive, like a self-adhesive felt material, and I've tried that for carpets, which it's great for flat surfaces, but keeping it adhered to something like a transmission tunnel for any real length of time, eventually the adhesive does tend to
Steve has a question. He says, do you put the flock, I take it he's talking about the flock, onto PVA or wet paint?
Good friend of mine always uses paint, and I'm a diluted PVA guy. I look like a diluted PVA guy. No.
Andy King says, you have a Von Chef dehydrator. I have an airing cupboard. Yeah. Yes.
Problem with your airing cupboard is it's full of
dust. Yep.
Every time you put an item of towel, clothing, whatever, it's shedding lint. And if you only have to put your hand onto the slat and run the finger along the slat and see what you come back with, and you'll understand. The Von Chef don't do that. Plus, I can take the bits out, and the top bits of mine have all been through the dishwasher a few times over the years, just to keep on top of them. But I get what you're saying, Andy. That if you've got a box that you can put it into that's airtight, although you do still need the paint to breathe as part of the drying process. It's getting out of hand. So a comment about my bid. You'll still get some dust ingress. With the Von Chef, a little bit less. Plus the heat is direct. So
I honestly, that my Von Chef, I'm looking at it right now. There it is on the corner of the table over there, the bench over there. I love it. I really, really do. And it just speeds up some processes so much easier. But yeah, I've got to chop some more of those layers out so I can get a bit more depth into it now. But no, that's what's thank you, Ian. Steve says, cheers, Ian. Now to source less than 100 years worth. Yeah. Oh right, okay. What is that? What's that in there, Ian?
So this is hang on. So this is the aforementioned flocking.
Right, I'm with you.
Packet. That's an old Hero Boy one. You can tell how old it is. It's got his old logo on it. But he now provides it in little tins, like snuff tins. Though I would recommend not snorting it.
No.
The other stuff in the little bottles is actually embossing powder, which card makers use. This is the stuff where you put it on with an adhesive and then you heat it and it melts almost and goes glossy. I did try the silver to see if you could use it to replicate chrome. It was less than successful because to get it to melt, you needed to get it to a temperature that the
Plastic wouldn't survive.
handle. So yeah, it was a bit of a.
Sorry, we missed that. It was you said that in order to get it, I said the plastic wouldn't survive, but you went out of microphone range.
Yeah, sorry, I was putting that drawer back before I forgot. It melted.
Right.
It wasn't pretty.
No. Dave Fleming says it's time for Bye with Ian. Not listen with Mother, but well, this is what we're here. This is what we're here for.
Opportunities for that later on. I've got some other bits.
Right. I'm just going to do a quick update here on the ICM Hamden. So I've got 2 builds on the go at the moment. I've got the Tamiya motorbike, the Tamiya the Tamiya Ducati, but are also cracking on with the ICM Hamden, which I've got to say is an absolute blast. It's just quite involved. So we have got lots of bits here that need these will need painting essentially rather they will need painting interior green to kick off with. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my camera to work here. I've got too many cameras on the go here. There we go. So most of this will need painting interior green, but there are some bits that don't. But an errant bomb that needs to go into this plastic container, which has all my other bits and pieces in there. So yeah, we've got all those bits to go. Now, one of the things that did cause me pause to thought was the undercarriage. And the problem you've got with the undercarriage is because it is built up of zoom in, shall we? Zooms in, zooms in, zooms in. Because it's built up of so many different pieces that there's no way of being able to kind of keep it aligned. So the only way I could really do it, I'm just going to go and grab the instructions to show you what we're talking about, is there we go. So that's how you start off, is you've got that's a single piece, so that just wraps around the tire there, the wheel / tire. Fair enough, that's not a problem. But then you've got these 2 pieces that need to fit together. And if you try and do it like this, there's absolutely no there's no rigidity to it. It's not gonna hold together. So what I ended up having to do was fit them onto the spar. Fit that in place first, then fit these onto the spar, then align everything, and then do it that way. Not ideal, because I would have rather preferred to paint everything, paint it all separately and then drop it in. But it's really not that critical, because all this base needs to be interior green, cockpit grey green, and the actual undercarriage itself is black. So what we'll do is we'll get all this done in interior green. Then we will mask it very loosely with, we can mask it with masking tape and bits of blue tack and yada yada. Then we can spray the undercarriage legs black, everything black. Then we can go in, and any tiny areas that just need to be touched in black, we can do that with a paintbrush and some Vallejo. So not a massive issue. It's not how I would like to do things. And ironically, ICM do provide for one of the clear parts. They do provide there we go. They do provide a jig for it. Is it a jig, Ian? I got told off once that they're not called jigs. They're called
fixture. Is it a fixture or something?
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get it to align these clear parts. What would have been helpful is some kind of fixture or jig that you can align all this on. Were I to do this again, I think I've got a third way I might do this. But the good news is that's all pretty strong. And sorry?
Could you have used a bit of PVA to tack the basic legs to the floor and built it up in situ and then removed it?
Yeah, I did wonder about that. I did try that. It didn't quite work, but I think the next time I might try it with another kind of glue. Not a solvent. But it's honestly to paint those in situ. It really isn't that much of a bind. It's just me being picky. And what I will be doing is painting the interiors of this in interior green. Then I'll do the Spencer thing of I'll get the outside area there. Actually, I might do that first in black, then do the interior parts, so that when I get round to painting the final finish, I can really mask loosely around there once these are in place. But just going to see which one's that goes in there like that. No, it's the other way around. Duh.
That really is a complex little so-and-so, isn't it?
But it's beautiful. I mean, I'm not going to... I would have liked, like I say, I would have liked a different method of putting it together, but I'm not going to knock ICM for the detail on this. It is stunning. It really is most amazing. So I'm just going to move that out very carefully. I'm really looking forward to cracking on with that. We've got the Bombay done there. The crutches are just dropped in place at the moment. They're not glued because I'm going to drop them out to paint them. One of the things, again, on the instructions, and don't worry, we'll move on in a minute. On the instructions, they give you measurements to drill holes to drop these cradles in, stays, whatever we want to call them. I followed this, did it, measured it, and everything. It's only when they were in place that when I looked where they went in place, that actually there are much better indicators on the underside of the part to align them into. So it's rather bizarre. I'm just trying to see from the. I'm just going to have a look to see if it's actually illustrated. Yes, here we go. So here are the stays going in place. You've got all these details here. They're actually a better guide to where you need to drill those holes. So that illustration there, not the best of illustrations, and also it's not the same size as the kit part as well. So it's a minor whinge. I'm allowed a minor whinge because thus far it has been a quite phenomenal build. It really is, and I'm really looking forward to chucking some paint on it. And
I was having a really good look at the one that was on display at Telford and thinking, yeah, it was a stunningly beautiful surface detail on it.
Yep,
absolutely beautiful thing.
Yep. No, it's really, really, really nice. And the one that I'm going to be doing it's the box art one, because I do like those phony war schemes with the B roundels on the fuselage. I just think that's my favorite scheme. So that's where I am with projects, and I'm still working on the Ducati as well. So in fact, when I saw Mr. Farmer today, I'm putting in an order for some paint for the Ducati. So Mike Williams says Deluxe Materials tacky glue would work well for that undercarriage. Right, I remember that. That's Telford. Yeah. I will get some. So but yes, shall we dive? Oh, I haven't grabbed the images yet. Goodness me. That's a good start to the new year.
Would you want me to do something while you do that?
You do that, and I'll. Yeah.
couple of weeks back, possibly on a car show, I can't remember, we talked about a brand called Talk Workshop, who are one of the new breed of 3D print accessory brands that have come from the Far East. And when we did, we talked about their upgrade for this kit. This is Tamiya's rather lovely Porsche Carrera GT that's been around. Whoa, let's have a look. This box says 2004, so it's a 20-year-old kit now. In the kit, these meshes are very prominent pieces of the exterior of the car. In the period this kit came out, there were very limited ways you could deal with that, and Tamiya opted to go with 2 clear plastic or 3 clear plastic parts and some rather dubious, and I'm afraid there is no better way to put it, decals, which are kind of visible. They're not pretty, but you know, the various people over the years have cut things out and made mesh and stuff. And to be honest, I've owned this kit a couple of times, and on every occasion I've ended up selling it on simply because I couldn't get my head around that. By the way, if anybody's wondering if I've turned into a self-harmer, I've got a kitten. Yeah. Talkworks have come up with a remedy for this in the shape of some 3D printed meshes, and this is the instruction sheet that comes with them. They're beautifully presented, absolutely beautiful, lovely little hard cardboard box, really nice instruction sheet, good logo, cool. And these are the parts in question. That when we talk about 3D printed bits, a lot of the time you see them in these frames, and it's not until these arrived that I realized that they are as useful as they look, although they do make things difficult to get out of, because this lot at some point sustained damage on its way, and that frame giving up has probably prevented any of this lot getting damaged, which I'm quite pleased about. Let's zoom in on these a little bit, and as you can see,
that is absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it?
They are stunningly beautiful. The mesh is hex, like the real thing. Someone said they thought it was a little over scale, and I said, I don't care.
No.
Because anything's better than a clear plastic bit with a dodgy decal on it, and that, unfortunately, is the way. From what I've seen a couple of people use them online. They fit beautifully. The glossy black plastics and the resin's a nice touch. I've not seen anything 3D printed in this color before. Very, very impressed with those. Really, really impressed. To the point to which I now have an urge to build the kit, which, yeah, we'll see. I've got plenty of other stuff on the go at the minute. And so that's that. How are you doing with your picture work?
Oh, we're all done. We're all good.
Oh, there we go. That was a nice little infill, wasn't it? Almost professional in our stupidity. There you go.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was me being a bit slack tonight. I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. Right.
Sorry. If anybody wants to know where to find those, they're for sale on Hobby Easy from Hong Kong.
Right.
Sorry.
Easy. That's all right. I'm just trying to remember what their website address is.
Hobbyeasy.com.
Yeah, that's the one. Right, here we go. So the first news item tonight, and it's a special hobby. And they are doing a 48 scale Martin Baltimore. Which is just oops daisy, let's try adding it to stage again. There we go. Martin Baltimore. What a fabulous looking aeroplane. I'm trying to remember what it was viewer David said about this. Viewer David Hansen described it as I'm just trying to find it. No, it's disappeared off the timeline. I think he said something about it's what happens when a Mitchell and not a Mitchell, when a Havoc and a Hudson love each other very much, and yeah, I totally get what he's saying there. Well, what a fabulous looking aeroplane, Ian.
I love the way the nacelles extend beyond the trailing edge. That kind of, it's almost Art Nouveau, isn't it? It's just lovely little thing. And again, it's the kind of thing you'd expect ICM to be doing at the minute. When you know what else they've done over the last few years, it wouldn't be a surprise if that had an ICM badge on it. The fact that it's special hobby, be interesting, because they are making a big song and dance that they've improved their quality of late. 48 scale aircraft, they can get that fuselage, those fuselage halves out in one piece without it being messy. That'll be interesting.
Here we go. This is what David Hansen said. He says, "You see, Joey, when a Lockheed Ventura and a Bristol Beaufort love each other very, very much." Yeah.
those intake, I presume they're the carburetor intakes on top of the count. They are definitely chunky.
It's a fabulous looking aeroplane, though. I've got memories of the, like a lot of people, of the old Frog kit. If you may notice in these photographs here, scrolls back. You've got the basic gun position there, and you also have the turreted version as well. So they are doing different versions here. But yeah, it's just.
Correct, there are 1, 2, and a 3. Baltimore's 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
might be wrong there. Don't know. Lovely.
So we'll just scrolls through. But yeah, what a fabulous looking aeroplane. Also, a gazillion color schemes you can hang on these as well.
The French have some as well.
I do believe they did. Joseph Youngerman says, "Great subject. Would love to see a better one in 1/72 scale. Also, the much ignored Maryland." And Travis Thompson, this is fighting talk. He said it's like the A20's prettier sister. I'm sorry, the A20 is an aerodynamic, is an aviation Venus, quite frankly. It's one of the most fantastic looking aeroplanes ever to fly, I feel. Some nice detail going on there in that turret.
Yeah, that's a nice complex piece of kit.
Yeah, obviously these are CAD renders; these aren't kit parts. So yeah, there we go. There are your two. Are they the dorsal? Aren't they dorsal gun positions? So we've got a turret and we've got just a flappy window. Very nice. There's your big intakes there.
That forward cockpit area is nice and busy, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I'm presuming that's etched parts. The
gold is going to be etched parts. Yeah.
Getting that gunsight and bead lined up on that top is going to be fun. Light, stone, and earth. Yes.
Two different types of tires. So you've got smooth. You've got smooth and smooth tread, and then you've got the diamond pattern and different wheel hubs as well. Turrets. Quite a lot of
there genuinely is a lot of detail in that, isn't there?
Yep.
The special hobby, that's unusual.
I am going to be all over this when it. Oh, that's interesting. The framework for the nose there seems to be kind of that looks to be internal framework for the nose for the bombardier section. So yes, I will be all over this because I do like the Baltimore, and I just think it's just a fabulous subject. And as Mike Williams says, that'll look lovely in light stone and dark earth over azure blue. Absolutely, yeah.
Whatever azure blue may actually turn out to ever have been.
This is true. But yeah, there we go. So that is that special hobby. There we go. Joseph, very impressive looking. I think it does. I think that's what a fabulous way to start the year. And that was a late entry from last year, I do declare. I think it was, but moving on, jumping up a scale, and we have from Airscale in this country a 32nd scale Dornier 17Z. Now, I get the feeling this is going to be like some of the other Airscale kits. I think this might be a mixture of injection molded and 3D printed. So I stand to be corrected if I've got anything wrong there, and I apologize to them if I've mangled their message, but that's... But
I think I was following them chatting about it on Facebook, and definitely the transparencies are going to be injection molded, because he's been talking about drawing them for draw angle and stuff. They did, and what they've been showing over the last week or two on their Facebook page is very impressive.
Yeah, well, this is where we got the we've got the imaging from. So this is 30-second scale, and oh my goodness me, look at that. Wow. There's no hiding in there. You can't get away with not having detail. Let's put it that way. This looks fabulous, doesn't it, Ian?
I think that looks incredible, to be fair. Yep. It's not a massively big aeroplane in 30-second, because the 17 series aren't huge airplanes. I remember building the EF in 70-second back in the day, but that blended, it's almost a blended wing as well, isn't it? When you think about it, compared to a lot that you got to wonder what its radar section was like compared to some of the others.
It's very organic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I do like Dornier's aircraft of era. So
yeah. So that's Airscale. So that's being worked on right now. Well, they're working on it and they're tweaking it and doing other bits and pieces. And as Mike Williams says, they've got the asymmetrical nose glazing correct too. Yeah. I just think that looks like an absolute winner for me. And again, this is 3D printing really is starting to, well, the 3D printing and CAD, it really is starting to make a huge difference in the amount of detail that people can cram into these kits. Yeah, and the Dornier 17Z again. How many color schemes can you, Stacey? How many color schemes can you hang on it? Quite a lot. Some very nice finishes on them as well.
Night fighter variants as well, isn't there? With all sorts of weird and wonderfulness on the front of the nose, and searchlight systems and radar and infrared and things like that. So that's going to be an interesting way to see how they project that range forward, how much of it they do. But, can I now have a 30-second scale JU-388 night fighter, please? Thank you.
That would be nice. Going back to the Baltimore, Richard Graham says, or in Coastal Command Scheme. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Now we're talking. And Richie says, I built a Baltimore for a mate whose dad worked on them in Africa during World War II. Can't remember what manufacturer kitted it. My mate bought a book for research, and his dad was in a photo in the book.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting, Richie. If you can do us a picture for that and share it on the Facebook page, on the public page, that'd be brilliant. Because that'd be interesting to see. Right, next news story. I do declare, Mr. Hartup, this is something that is in your domain. And this is, well, you lead.
So LB Productions is another one of the Far Eastern Hong Kong, Macau based guys. We've covered his stuff before. He does some beautiful decals. He's done so the Nunu have issued their BMW M4, and it's been around a few months now. I'm trying to remember what it says on the box. So it's the 2022 car. The car has now had an Evo update, and as you can see, the guys at LB have produced that as a selection of 3D printed resin bits. So it's got some little turning vanes on the front wing and extra vents, and then the elements in the outlet from the radiator in the nose have been changed, and there's new light inserts to comply with the new legislation around lighting. So those have been put in. The thing comes with, as you can see from the picture, some film chrome for the mirrors, various little decals of carbon fiber and everything, which you need to upgrade the parts that come with the kit. But he's also done some 2024, 25 schemes that would need this. Number one of which is the Misano winner from this year, and also around 24 hours of Spa, driven by, I believe that's one of Mr. Rossi's car. Yeah, so Valentino Rossi, René Rast, and Kevin Magnussen. The K-Mag is in the house, and that scheme is mental. I know, so there's a couple of people working on that or variations of that scheme at the minute. Yeah. As Paul Adams has just pointed out, any M4 after Bathurst 2025 needs the Evo upgrade. That's going to be a worthwhile addition. The problem is, and if those of you who can see over my shoulder when we're on general shot will notice the big pile of AMG GT Mercedes racers, all with upgrade parts and decals and stuff in them. Though these kits are getting to be 40-50 quid a time now. By the time you've put those upgrades and decals in them, you're looking at 70-80 quid. I'm getting a bit picky about which ones I build, although I have to say the Spa car is on the list. We'll still see, won't we? But that's, if it's anything like as good as the other stuff of his I've got, it will be beautiful.
Yeah. Just bear with. We've had a scrolls down. We are going to have a bear with, because I'm just going in to format those pictures correctly, because they are annoyingly not properly formatted. Goodness me, talk about teething problems on your first show back after the Christmas hollybobs.
While you're doing that, well, Andy King's asking you about the Airfix launch on the 14th. Are you doing a special show?
No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it for. No, I think we'll keep it for the Sunday service. I mean, we can.
A lot of people dissecting that well, and yeah.
I'd leave that up to you folks. If you think we should do a special show for the Airfix releases, we will follow your lead, and we will do one. You tell us what you want. Do you know what? I've just gone in there and tweaked those LB pics, and yet for some reason it's not showing. I'm just going to drop it straight onto the desktop here. It wasn't showing as being accessible for some reason, and that's really bizarre. Right, let's try it again.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. Sorry, I'm just moving it onto the desktop. Right, here we go. Oh, goodness me. I've only been doing this 6 years.
When's the 14th? Well, today's the 11th.
Yes, right. Here we go. Add to stage. Right, there we go. So we've finally got the color schemes the right way round. So talk us through. Is this the one we've just talked about? Was it, Ian?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, you've got a lot of work in these. A lot of these decals layer up, and his instructions are very thorough about telling you painting sequences and how to which decals to what pot in layers. I think that, I mean, the liquid moly one's rather lovely.
Mm-hmm.
That's an IMSA car. So, and the Road America one, that one's really, I mean, you're never going to lose that in a car park, are you?
No.
So, no. I quite like those, and the WRT Racing, I think those ones. I know they're Paul Miller cars. So, the BMW red, white, and blue. Yeah.
I gotta say, I like that one. I think that looks. I'm not a fan of BMWs, he said, driving a BMW, but I do like that one. That looks a bit classy compared to that. That's a bit loud. That's a bit kind of Hawaiian shirt for me. Well,
you see, Mr. Rossi's involved in that, so it should have large areas of day glow on it as well, knowing him. But
no,
yeah.
I like that. That kind of reminds me. That's very kind of Kevin Keegan 1970s England shirt vibes. That is. Those
I'm
classic
sure Liquid Molly
Admiral.
will love that.
Yeah, those classic Admiral shirts they used to wear. Mick Shannon. There we go.
Yes.
That one I quite like. That one I do like the yellow. But that one, oh goodness me, that looks like an explosion in the paint factory.
The yellow with the blue livery, there's not so much decor there. There's larger areas where you need to make sure your yellow is right, and there is quite a bit of exposed carbon fiber on these cars as well. So a carbon fiber sheet. I think both LB and possibly SK do a carbon fiber sheet for this kit. It's interesting that LB's done that Evo upgrade. I believe SK, who are usually aligned with Zoom On for whatever reason, and I'm not entirely sure what that is, are showing, I believe, a couple of the Evo cars on their release list. So whether that means that there'll also be a Zoom On set to do the same thing, or whether he's saying, just get your Evo bits wherever you can. As someone's just commented about the lights in that. I think it was Sarah Jane or possibly Paul saying that the lights are an improvement.
I'm just having a look. Who is that? Sarah Jane. Yeah, here we go. Sarah Jane. She says, got the M4 Evo parts on order. Big difference in the lights.
Massive difference in the headlights. Yeah.
Paul says, if you're building any M4 after Bathurst 2025, you'll need this. Nice set. Sarah Jane says, yep, have the M4 decals.
I only have the one kit at the minute, and I'm hanging fire. I know Mr. Farmer is wanting one built, but I'm still waiting. He's supposed to be sending me that shortly. So I'm being a little bit, because the kit release scheme is it's a DTM car, and it's probably the least attractive scheme to people like Paul and Sarah Jane and myself from a point of view of what it is. It's like it's a red car with some stuff on it, Decra. Whereas these later schemes are absolutely stunning. There's Le Mans cars, there's all sorts of stuff, and it'll be the M4 will be at Le Mans again this year in the Evo form, allegedly. Although Valentino is out of the team, I believe, so that may slow things down. But it's a nice thing, Yeah. There's a couple. It's not perfect.
Yeah, Sarah Jane says, have about 6 decal sets for the M4 at home, built out of the box last July. Did we say this before, that and then she says, out of the box is basically the shell livery. Did we say before that we really got to try and get Sarah Jane on the show? And did she, kicking and screaming, say that she wouldn't come on? But yes, we're going to throw this one back out there, Sarah Jane. We would like to have you on the show. So
yeah, there you go.
We've got some people.
We'll send the boys round.
Mr. Sutherland says, yes, special show for the Airfix releases. Travis Thompson says, Moz will be having an Airfix party. I think he's got Dale on the stream. Yeah, Mike Williams says, this coming Wednesday. We'll see what we can do. I need to get somebody as a guest on who can give me their opinion, because obviously my opinion is going to be utterly biased. So right, shall we move on? Sorry,
Wednesday, I'm probably not going to be around until about 8 o'clock at night, so
that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Right. Next. Oh, I am. Do you know what? I am really hoping I get to build one of these. This is ICM 48 scale, and it's a Hughes MH6J. This in 48 scale. This is going to be tiny. I built the Italeri. I'll call it a Cayuse. I built the Italeri both the artillery kits of this helicopter. That was 72nd scale. That was teeny. This is 48 scale. So here we go. Number of parts 147, length 182 millimeters, and rotor diameter 166 millimeters. So not massive. And there's a bit of history about it, and features the model. First helicopter model in the Little Bird line from ICM, accurate reproduction of the real prototype's geometry, multiple antenna configuration options for the upper section, markings from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. And yeah, and there's some more shots there as well. And there are some sprue layouts there. I am really looking forward to this. Like I say, I do like the Cayuse as a subject, and quite frankly, I am going to be kicking and screaming that I'm the one who gets to build this for the hobby company stand, because what a fabulous subject. Marking options, everything, as long as you like, green. So we got one there of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, 1990s, and another one from the same regiment, again 1990s. So you're going to need your olive drab or your helo green. But yes, I just think this is a winner from ICM, and in 48 scale, as I say, not a particularly big aeroplane. There is one, there is not that version, but there is one at the Helicopter Museum in Weston, so I should be going down there photographing that from top to bottom. But whoopsie daisy, oh, we've lost ourselves. Whoopsie daisy. I know, it's the new buttons here.
Hi.
There we go. Yeah, what a fabulous subject.
In the press as well at the minute. You know.
I know.
Although the current generation are apparently black, the older ones were green.
Right. Okay. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, looking forward to that one. It's such an attractive subject, and you can, knowing ICM, that's going to run with them. They are going to be milking that for so many different variants, and good luck to them, because I just think it's a fabulous subject. So right, we are coming to the last few bits for tonight. We've got another car coming up in a minute, Ian, but we've also got DB kits, and their next project they've got is this, a 32nd scale de Havilland Hornet. And I will say thanks to Bill Clark for letting us steal his pictures, quite frankly. This is injection molded, obviously. Just an utterly fabulous looking aeroplane. It really is. Some 3D printed stuff there, undercarriage and gun bays, and you've got some bits and pieces there for the cockpit. Very nice decal sheet. That is absolutely stunning. That really is top dollar stuff, that is. Having done some research on the Hornet myself years ago, that is really thoroughly done. So top marks to DB for that. Upsa daisy, and we've got pictures the wrong way up again. Oh, do you know what? I think we might have to just whiz through them. But yeah, what a fabulous looking aeroplane, Ian.
Yeah, that's definitely a Hornet, and I think that's unmistakably so. It's going to be interesting to see how many of those we start popping up at shows and competitions and stuff. I think.
I have got to say, going back to the decal sheet, it looks like one of the options is going to be, well, certainly the ones with the tactical roundels, or the B-type roundels. I do like those schemes, and they tended to be camouflaged or medium sea grey PR blue, camouflaged in PR blue or medium sea grey PR blue. But yeah, let's just go back to the decals, shall we? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you've certainly got one there with the B-type roundels. No, they're tactical roundels by this stage. So but yes, that looks absolutely stunning. Again, I know we do tend to eulogize about the stuff we have on the show, but by and large, we do cherry pick the stuff that we think is interesting, and it's the stuff that makes us go ooh, in that kind of Kenneth Williams kind of Ida Duck way, kind of ooh. Right. Any interesting comments there, Ian?
Yes, one you need to delete.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Hornet's an airplane that's been overlooked for a very long time, and the Dynavector kit is probably the choice of the previous iterations, isn't it? I mean, that's been around or not been around now for some time. Was it Frog that did one originally? Frog did a 70-second scale one, which wasn't bad. Wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't
apparently
bad.
Apparently it was all over the place. According to the late great Mike Eacock, it was all over the place.
No, well, yeah. No. And then, but for its era, yeah. But then Trumpeter came along a little while ago and managed to
get everything wrong,
mess that doggy up. So we've not had it's not been a very particularly well served aeroplane. To get something of that quality now is welcome. And I can hear all the I want it in 48th, I want it in 70 seconds ago, guys, and a few years back I'd have probably been one of them, but just to have it is nice. I do expect to see like that Dornier 17 and that things like that are going to start showing up on competition tables and show tables fairly quickly, I think, because there is seemingly a lot of interest in them. And things, I don't know about you, but the stretch back to larger scale seems to be ongoing quite heavily at the minute.
I think certainly with the enthusiast end, because there are the pockets for it, quite frankly. I think there is quite a market out there for the enthusiast side of things. And Dave Fleming says, no, the Frog one was bad, like the Airfix Battle bad.
Oh, really? I didn't know. So
Viewer Roy says this Hornet is based on superbly accurate new drawings. Roy, did you have any involvement with that? It would be nice if you did, but that's interesting that Roy knows that. But yeah, the de Havilland Hornet, again, some very nice color schemes you can hang on them. Like I say, those PR blue and medium sea grey ones and the camo ones with the PR blue undersides, I just think they're fabulous.
Do they end up in the Royal Auxiliary Air Force post-war?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody more au fait with the subject matter will tell us. I don't want to commit.
Yeah, I remember going back to, we hear you talk about magazines and stuff. Probably one of the first SAMs I ever bought over the counter, the subject matter was Royal Auxiliary Air Force.
Yep.
And I got it in my head. Did he do a decal sheet that went with that? But I don't know. I did a lot of comment about what you needed to do it using bits of model decal sheets and stuff like that. And I remember building 7 or 8 of the Matchbox Night Fighter Meteors in schemes that were lifted directly out of the article and stuff like that in the time. But it's interesting.
I know the issue you're talking of, because the cover is like you're looking down on a load of silver Meteor, either F4s or F8s, single seat Meteors, and I do remember that issue because I remember I built the Hella Spitfire 16. But I did it it was a silver scheme with D-type roundels on it. And I remember, I think I was only about 19 at the time, and congratulated myself on my ingenuity. So, which, trust me, in the intervening years, I haven't done that since. So, right, the next news item, Bell Kits, Ian, Bell Kits, and they're doing a Toyota Yaris Rally 1 Hybrid.
Now, there was one of these on the stand at Telford,
Uh-huh.
an early one, because they got, I think it was hobby companies like pre-release example.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're hitting the shelves over the next few weeks. Last
Mm-hmm.
I heard, the ship was somewhere on its way from China. It's a lovely looking thing. It's a lunatic looking thing in reality, but it's a lovely looking kit. I had a really, really good look at the one that Andy had. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with this. Very, very impressed. I'm going to be very keen.
My crystal ball says, I can see this in your future, Mr. Hartup.
So Mr. Farmer says yes.
Yeah.
So.
And Sarah Jane says there's a tarmac detail set for the Yaris coming.
Yeah.
As I prefer the tarmac spec, I may get one. Do explain what's that mean, Ian? Tarmac.
Right. So if you're racing on gravel or on on forest tracks and stuff like that, different wheels, different tires, different suspension setup. So
Yeah.
Bell Kits will issue the kit, and then there'll be an upgrade set, which will be all the bits you need to turn it into, either, depending on what they originally released, either a gravel or a track option.
Mm-hmm.
When they did their Fiesta S2000 Fiestas, they did the same thing. They've done the same thing with their Skoda Fabia rally as well. But and to be honest, because there are, you wouldn't put all those bits in one box. It's easier to just do it as a separate thing. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the decals up, because I believe there are some subtle changes to the tarmac spec car, more than just wheels.
Paul Adams says KMP are doing several decal scheme updates too.
Yeah.
And Mike Williams makes the he says that Yaris has bigger wings than an F-104 Starfighter. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying there. And Dave Fleming says Mike Williams needs Red Bull sponsorship because Red Bull gives you wings. Very good. I'm so glad everybody's so literate out there.
Sarah Jane's making a point a little bit further up.
Yeah.
Toyota have a mostly red livery on their rally cars, Le Mans car. I don't know if you've noticed, Sarah Jane, but they rolled out images of this year's Le Mans car, and it's in a TS020 tribute scheme, the red and white striped car from a few years back, which is the one that Zoom On are doing as a conversion for the old Tamiya kit very shortly as well.
Yeah.
So, which I'll cover at some point, hopefully.
Sorry, just Sarah Jane says, where was it? Ian, have you tried?
No, keep going.
This is a question for you. Right, well, scrolls down. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah. Just above the comment about the bigger wing.
Can't find it.
Fourth from the bottom.
Fourth from the bottom. Right, here we go. Is that the one?
Yes.
That's the one.
So they're producing decals for the Le Mans car TS020 in a very specific livery, which is this.
No, hang about. That's just.
So this is the Toyota GT1, also known as the TS020, as raced in 1998 at Le Mans. Tamiya did this kit, the kit of this kind of later or earlier, I can't remember which way around it is, which is all over red and white. Now, Zoom On have announced that they're doing a conversion to convert the Tamiya kit to the 98 car. Meanwhile, Tamiya are running a tribute livery to that on this year's actual car. I noticed in some of the release literature that I saw for that livery, it's got Tamiya logos slapped all over the rear wing and the front corner. Can we have one, please, lads? While you're sticking stickers on it, make a real one. So it'll be interesting to see whether that's just because they do sponsor quite a bit in endurance cars, particularly with the Japanese stuff. I mean, I've seen pictures of various things with Tamiya logos on them over the years, and we've never got injection molded kits, but there might have been RC body and things like
Yeah,
that.
that's interesting. So Tamiya sponsoring a team, but of a car that they don't actually produce a kit for.
Yeah, but they've done it before.
No.
But they might. But see, what they also do is that they've got those the mini racers in the Far East, and yes, I know.
Sarah Jane says, I did notice, yes, Ian, last year the Toyota cars had mostly a black livery. This is red this year. So, right, shall we will move on to the penultimate news item for tonight. And this is something I am tremendously excited about because it's an aeroplane that I absolutely adore, and it's a theatre of operations that I have always found utterly fascinating. So Mini Art are doing a 48 scale Republic P-47 Thunderbolt Mark 1 Royal Air Force, and this mostly is going to be Southeast Asia Command. This is their basic kit, which ironically, their basic kit is still massively more detailed than everybody else's 48 scale Thunderbolt kits anyway. But anyway, do like the color schemes for this. I just love these. I love these Razorbacks in dark earth, dark green, and medium sea grey. And I do like that one with the checker decals on it. So this, oh my goodness me, I am going to be going out. But I've not yet gone out and bought a Mini Art P-47 simply because I was waiting for them to do a SEAC one. So yes, I am all over this. That's an interesting one as well because so many times it gets referenced as being painted in dark green, ocean grey, and medium sea grey. No, these were delivered in American colours. So off the top of my head, I can't remember what the colours were, but these were all ANA colours. So you what, sorry, Ian?
DuPont colours.
Yes. So they were. I've got all the original notes that Jeff Thomas sent me, and I've got his books and his magazine articles. But I can't wait for this. And there's your decal sheet. Quite a lot of stenciling there. They've done the cowl checkers shaped to match the shape of the cowl. That looks pretty solid. Got to say, really impressed with that. Not entirely sure that B roundel for the upper wings looks entirely correct. The red looks a bit too small, but I'm prepared to be wrong on that. But yeah, this just looks brilliant. There we go. Dave Fleming arrived at the rescue. Sea grey, olive drab, neutral grey.
Sea grey, is that the Dauntless colour?
Not entirely sure. But yes, and then the God, get me brain in gear. And then when they went back out into theatre, they were repainted in proper Ministry of Aircraft production colours, dark green, dark earth, and medium sea grey, of which the dark earth apparently really did weather quite horribly, that it almost went purple. Travis Thompson says, if I recall correctly, Mark Robson said the 32nd scale Qatari Razorback will have a SEAC scheme. Excellent. And Richard says, wondering if Razorback P-47s have a better part for the tail wheel compared to the bubble top ones. Interesting, Richard. If you can post some pics to our public page, it'd be interesting to see what you mean by that. And Dave Fleming says late war color equivalent to extra dark sea grey, according to Dana Bell. Yep. So there we go. But yeah, this. I am so. Oops, a daisy. Done it again. I am so looking forward to that. Like I say, I've kept off buying one, pretty much waiting for them to do a SEAC one. And
there's a chap from Bradford area, John Sheehan, and his dad was with SEAC Thunderbolt units. So I can imagine John will be rather pleased to see that. John was the author of the rather splendid 2-book series on Canberra that was being sold at Telford over the last few years. He's a very, very knowledgeable man on Canberra, and because of the association with his father as well with P-47s in that theatre. So I can imagine he'll be very pleased to see that.
Richard says tail wheel is really flimsy, breaks off easily. Yeah, I get the feel. If I know what you mean, I've noticed this with certainly with some of the ICM stuff. Is they mold stuff to such incredible scale, it's incredibly fragile as well. And Mike Williams says, "Yep, mini art, 48 scale, P-47 tail wheels, wing guns, aerial masts, all very delicate." So, and Paul Voyle says, "I've been waiting for the SEAC too, so can't wait." So, yeah.
Have we completed our mini art quota for the evening?
That's our mini art quota for the week.
Checking.
And finally, we covered this before, and this is First to Fight. We've covered one of their other kits before. This is First to Fight, and this is one of their next releases, based on what we did previously, which was I've lost it in every sense of the phrase. But we did this before. This is the gunboat version, and this is 72nd scale. And I'm trying to what the blessed thing was called again now.
Pinsk flotilla.
Yeah, Pinsk something. Unfortunately, the notes here are a bit garbled, and it says a guard motorbike. I think they mean a guard motorboat. But yeah, this is First to Fight. I've built some of their armor stuff. They are brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this. And I do like that molded flag they did. They did that.
I'm intrigued to see what it's like when it lands, but.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, so that's it. Right, Ian. Any other business?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got something to show you. Bit of show and tell again.
Okay.
So I'm working out my I've sat at Telford and had a little conversation with Mr. Pollard about how he plans his modelling year and things, and so I took some of that away, and I've been planning out some of my builds for the year. And so with those behind you will notice that things have changed. My printer expired, and I took the opportunity to move things around. So I now have an area that's the things I expect to build this year, amongst which are some hot rods. So I'm working on. I put this box down earlier. This is a 32 Ford. So this is how well planned it is. So we've got a Revell 32 Ford. It's going to be a 32 Roadster pickup. So this is the bed out of the 34 Ford. There's some 3D printed header units in there, courtesy of Motor Bits. And bits of Revell 30 Ford coupe and things. So that's that kind of thing. But the whole thing revolves around this. This is a resin cast 32 Roadster pickup cab produced by a company called Drag City Castings in the States. Their stuff is some of the finest resin I've handled. This is exactly how it was when it arrived. There's no, I've been messing with panels, no flash, no mold lump. Beautifully done. And that's that's an up roof so that I can build the look I want. Okay. Now, recently, he announced that he was going to do a 34 Ford Roadster. Now, today, in 25th or 24th scale, there's only been a couple of 34 Fords. There's the very, very old monogram kit, which is probably older than us. And there's also an AMT kit, which is early 90s. It's from the Ertl AMT era.
Right.
I'm going to base it on that. So my intention is to try and replicate this car.
Oh my goodness me!
That photograph was actually published by Ed from Drag City on his Facebook page. So this is a fully fendered 34 Roadster with a Duval sloped windscreen, up roof. The grill is actually had this lovely sort of swooping Art Deco grill is exactly what the car had new. The wire wheels I'm going to have to source from somewhere, but that's on. You notice lovely 32 two-door sedan in the back of that. But that, so to do that, you have to have one of their. So this is a resin cast shell. Okay. I've done nothing to this. This arrived in the week.
Oh my goodness me! That's a work of art, isn't it?
When you're on the parcel, your first reaction is it's injection molded plastic. I mean, there is nothing there. There's a little bit of, so you know, that kind of really fine.
Yeah.
But there's nothing on that suggests you that's in any way resin cast. That is beautiful. Absolutely. And again, you've got the up roof. Although I will to do the one with the Duval screen, and I may have to modify this a little bit, but that is the up roof. Sells that as a separate component. It also comes with the wheel arch liners that you need for the front and the windscreen frame with the wiper molded in, and that's the package. So, but that it's not often that I'm, well, I won't say rendered speechless, but I'm put in a position where I look at something and I don't believe what I'm looking at. I genuinely was absolutely shocked at that, at the quality of that. That is just, from a car model's point of view, that's the scale good. It's absolutely beautiful. And it is indeed resin. Got that thing nice to it. It's just lovely. And that is, okay, it's not the cheapest thing you're ever going to buy. But if you're into resin casted car kits, and you'll know what we've spoken about over the years from a point of view of the quality of some of the stuff we get at obscene prices.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it will allow me to build this.
Ian, question. What's that looks very similar to my eyes to ZZ Top's Eliminator car.
Well, the ZZ Top Eliminator car is based on a 34 Coupe.
So they are essentially, there is DNA there.
Yeah, the DNA. That's so. If you put the vertical screen and a coupe type roof on that, he says, hang on, talk amongst yourselves. So this is the fenders set, and you would put that body on it. There you go. So that's the basis of the Eliminator car there.
Good Lord. Is that what you're building there, is it?
So that, no, this is the donor kit for this conversion. I just happened to have
right.
Off stage left. So that's the, but look, I mean, it's even got the molding, the tags to fit the body.
Yeah.
The kit part are on that body. The problem I've got is it's not. There's nothing wrong with the resin, but my set of fenders is warped to oblivion. Yeah. There is there's desperate need for someone to do a 3D printed grill because the AMT one, whilst it's nice, is a little bit
chunky.
There's more finesse to this, and it's more open. So a nicely done 3D printed replacement for this would not go amiss. Did I just pull that off the sprue without cutting it? I don't know. I may have done it, but there you go. You get the feel for what we're dealing with. But yeah, so that's the 34 Ford. That's one of my projects. But I'm more they just think that
take some decent photographs of that and put it up on our Facebook
that I'll be
page.
doing that anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, you can see that it is based off of this to some extent. You know, in that there's a lot of the what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of the fitments for the things like the wheel arch liners and stuff are the same, but whoever's done the masterwork for it has just sort of blown everything else out of the park. It's just lovely. Very, very impressed with that. And the guy from Drag City, Ed, I believe his name is a really nice guy to deal with. Very, very straightforward to deal with. And the quality is never, ever poor.
Travis Thompson says, I don't do cars. Why not, Travis? Build a car, for goodness sake. This is one of the things we are going to be doing this year, is getting people out of their comfort zone. So he says, I don't do cars, but if I did, it would be early 30s Fords or circuit racing Cobras. Talking of comfort zones, before we leave tonight, one of the things that we've got lined up this year, brace yourself, Ian. I am going to be building my first ever classic car. And when
so the Mini doesn't qualify as a classic, is that what you're telling me?
You know what I mean? A vintage, proper vintage car. So when I was having tea down Waitrose this afternoon with Mr. Farmer of the Hobby Company, I said, any chance we can get some kits for this? Yes, he's going to sort that out for us. So thank you, Andy. That's very kind of you. So as and when we get the kits, what we might do is we might set it up as a rather than a 10-day deadline, we might set it up as a 14-day deadline, so that we can start it on one Sunday service and then finish it on a later one 2 weeks later. So I am really looking forward to this, and in fact I am really looking forward to seeing if I can build some more ICM cars. I've not built any of their cars at the moment, but having seen the one that you built just before Christmas, they do look fabulous. And I know a couple of people on our Facebook page have also been building them, and I've been sat here kind of like, oh, I want to play. So there we go.
I must admit, I would like to have a go at the 1914, the 35th scale, because I built a couple of their 24 scale cars. We had one on display at Telford, the little red. That's a very heavily modified one that I did. The 35th scale taxi caught me a little bit unawares because it was one of the most addictive builds I think I've had in ages, because it just fell together. And Andy King, I know he's building the same kit at the minute, and he's saying very much the same things. There's a 1914 pattern Ford with a pintle mounted machine gun in it that they do a couple of Anzac figures for. That, with the figures, I would absolutely love to have a go at. But I'm just struggling to find one at the minute. So they're getting a bit. So obviously their stuff comes and goes from availability, and there's an awful lot going on that might be leading to that problem. So, you know,
send me a list, and I'll I'll see what we can do. That's it, folks. I'm afraid from me and my wind chimes outside the window there, probably annoying people in the background, but probably also annoying my neighbours, which is the main thing. On that note, we will love you and leave you this evening, but fingers crossed we'll be back next Sunday for another Sunday service. You free next week, Ian?
No, I'm always expensive, mate.
Oh, okay, very good, very good. So fingers crossed we'll be back next Sunday. Until then, you lot behave yourselves, and we will hopefully see you in 7 days' time, or we might see you midweek when it comes to the Airfix releases. So I'll see how I can co-opt for that. But until then, everybody stay safe, stay out of trouble, And tonight we're going to leave you with this, because we didn't get a chance to do this before Christmas because we rushed the end of the show and we forgot to do it. So we'll leave you with this tonight. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.